Quick video here today comparing my Lamborghini Huracan Evo Spider, which I only just got 2 days ago, to my 2022 Audi R8 Performance Quattro Spider, which I owned for almost 2.5 years. This is going to be a very brief video because I've only owned my car for about 2 days. So I haven't had a lot of seat time in it, but I have driven it around. You know, it's kind of like a honeymoon period. You just have this initial excitement and you constantly want to drive your car, which, you know, honestly, you get that with any car you get, whether it's a regular car or a sports car. But when you're talking about a Lamborghini, it's like to the next level of excitement. I've had adrenaline pumping for days just over my excitement about this car. One, because it's a new sports car, and two, because it's a Lamborghini and my first Lamborghini. And what can I say? I think most people would feel the same way. So this is going to be a very brief video. I'll probably make another longer one, both reviewing the Huracan as well as comparing it to the R8 after, again, I've had more time to drive this car. But I'm going to really just break it down to a couple of categories. So let's start with looks and styling. I mean, hands down, looks and styling, the Huracan is way more intense and aggressive. I mean, it's just got a look at me sort of thing going on here, which is kind of what anybody would expect. The R8 is much more subdued, much more subtle, whereas the Huracan is kind of shouting at the world, and rightfully so. So I'm not gonna say anybody is a winner or a loser. It just depends on what you're going for. If you want attention, hands down, Lamborghini wins. Number two, livability and usability. So again, just had some, I'm still getting to learn the ropes with the Huracan. So interestingly, I don't have the owner's manual yet. As a part of the purchase, the dealer actually had to order it, and it's being delivered from Italy, which is kind of interesting. So I should be getting that soon. I've already sort of figured out how to use the car. I'm still working on a couple of things. And usability wise, you know, by far the Audi R8 is superior. More intuitive, you know, it just behaves like a normal car. You know, you've got the gear shift lever to your right. You have a signal stalk to, you know, if you want to change lanes. Whereas with the Huracan, you sort of have to kind of push this button. And, you know, in order to go from reverse to drive, you actually use the right gear shift lever in the Lamborghini, whereas you don't really do that. You just put it in drive in the Audi. So the Audi sort of is more intuitive like a normal car. The Lamborghini's just got some quirks you have to get used to. My Audi R8 had wireless charging, whereas the Lamborghini does not. The Audi R8 also had better visibility, whereas the Lamborghini is not as good. So all in all, daily drivability, usability, Audi R8 for sure is the winner. How about driving experience? For that, this car clearly wins. It handles better. It's more emotional. You've got great steering feedback. It's just very exciting. Now the Audi R8 was fun to drive. It handled great, but you know, the steering was very light. You didn't really feel anything, you know, you didn't really get any feedback. And, you know, I would just say that it was a less exciting experience, even though it performed. It was very surgical. It handled like it was on rails, but, you know, just not as exciting and dramatic as this car. And of course, the Lamborghini is rear-wheel drive, whereas my Audi R8 was a Quattro. So I had to kind of, you know, get back into that mindset of rear-wheel drive. I had gotten used to the Quattro after a couple of years, but my Porsche was rear-wheel drive, and the back would sometimes get loose. This car, same thing, and so you get that sense of danger when you drive it, and I just find that so exciting. Next category, speed and performance. So I already kind of talked about handling. Speed-wise, you know, the Audi R8 was all-wheel drive. It had the same horsepower as the Lamborghini. The Lamborghini is rear-wheel drive, and you know, on paper, the Audi R8 should be faster, although it is a couple of 100 pounds heavier than this car. But in a weird sort of way, it feels like they have the exact same speed. In fact, the Lamborghini sometimes feels a little bit faster than the Audi R8. And I suspect some of that is just psychological, just due to the sort of the dramatic effect of this car. So I don't know. I would say it's probably a tie, and I'll leave it at that. Just a quick look at my updated garage. You got Supercar Killer and the new Supercar. Final category is sound. So what sounds better? Well, that's a little bit more interesting and kind of nuanced. My Audi R8 had one of the greatest exhaust setups I've ever heard in my life. I had a B-Rogue built titanium valveless, mufflerless exhaust, and it sounded absolutely epic, unforgettable, and I've shown that on some of my videos before. The Huracan Evo has the stock exhaust. If I were gonna judge the two, in the end, the Huracan sounds better. So even though my R8 had that exhaust, and it was louder, definitely louder than this car, this is tuned better. There's something about what Lamborghini did to the sound of this car. It's more aggressive sounding. You get more pops and backfires, and it just, there's something about it. It's just hard, and it doesn't convey through video. It's just something you'd have to hear in person, but the Evo sounds better, and I'm probably not gonna do anything to the exhaust. It sounds great just as it is. So that's just, those are my initial impressions. Just a quick one, just after 2 days of owning this car. I'll probably make more videos down the road, but I just wanted to share, my thoughts. Thanks for watching.